Hawaii's tropical storms and hurricanes. The surprising truth few people realize. We tend to picture Hawaii as a picture-perfect island getaway. Lush, sunny, gentle breezes, turquoise water. But here's an uncomfortable twist. Hawaii has seen its fair share of hurricanes and tropical storms, despite its paradise image. In fact, hurricanes in Hawaii aren't as rare or unusual as most think, and the dynamics behind them are both fascinating and controversial. Ready for some eye-opening facts? How often do hurricanes and tropical storms threaten Hawaii? Let's start with the big question. Just how frequent are these storms? Each year, the Central Pacific Basin, the massive region surrounding Hawaii, averages about 4 to 5 tropical cyclones. Since meteorologists began watching this region with satellites in 1971, only 11 hurricanes have passed within 70 miles of major Hawaiian islands, like the Big Island, Maui, Oahu, or Kauai. But here's the twist. Alongside those, another 17 tropical storms and 14 tropical depressions have gotten this close. So while a devastating direct hit is rare, close encounters with dangerous weather are far from unheard of. Need a recent example? In late August 2024, Hurricane Hone, a Category 1 storm, passed just south of the Big Island, unleashing flooding rains and damaging winds that downed trees and power lines. Some homes suffered significant damage, clear evidence that these storms are more than just background noise. Why don't we see more direct hits? The answer lies in Hawaii's unique geography and some lucky patterns. The islands cover only about 6,400 square miles, making them the fourth smallest U.S. state by land area. Smaller than most people realize. Statistically, there's just less target for storms to strike compared to somewhere like the U.S. mainland. But here's the real secret. The storm environment around Hawaii is usually hostile to hurricanes. As storms drift west from the much larger and more active eastern Pacific, they encounter cooler ocean waters that seep down from Alaska and the U.S. West Coast. On top of that, strong upper-level winds can literally tear these storms apart as they approach the islands. There's also dry, stable air from a subtropical high that weakens cyclones as they get close. Imagine trying to keep a campfire going in the rain. These natural factors often extinguish a hurricane's fury before it reaches land. Still, experts caution that there's no physical barrier stopping a powerful storm from hitting Hawaii dead-on. Weather Channel's hurricane expert Rick Knabb points out that meteorologically, there's no reason why a major hurricane couldn't barrel straight into Honolulu, unleashing catastrophic wind, rain, and storm surge in a city home to over 300,000 people. How can Hawaii get hit? More than one path to danger. So, how could a hurricane make it to Hawaii with its strength intact? There are a few possible scenarios. 1. From the south. Ocean waters toward the southern edge of the Pacific are warmer, fuel for hurricanes. If a storm gathers steam down south, there's a greater chance it could survive the trip north to the islands, especially if prevailing winds steer it that way. Sometimes, a hurricane swings around the southern flank of the subtropical high-pressure system, making Hawaii a direct target. 2. El Niño years. Here's where it gets controversial. El Niño years spark fierce debate among climate experts. This climate pattern pushes warmer water farther north and allows east to west tracking storms to form closer to Hawaii. During El Niño periods, the odds of a named storm getting within 100 miles of the islands jump to 35%, compared to 22% in normal years. Not only do storms become more numerous, but relaxed trade winds can allow them to drift north instead of staying harmlessly south. A sobering example, in 1992, an El Niño year, Hurricane Iniki struck from the eastern Pacific, causing catastrophic damage to Kauai. Entire neighborhoods along the coast were battered or swept away by relentless storm surge and massive waves. The cost in human and financial terms remains the highest in Hawaii's history. So, can we truly say Hawaii is safe? Or are we simply lucky most years? Is climate change raising the stakes? And this is the part most people miss. How a warming Earth could be changing the game. Some scientists, like University of Hawaii's Brad Romine, suggest climate shifts may nudge hurricane paths farther north, upping the odds for Hawaii. Even more controversial, climate change may lead to stronger, more frequent El Niño events, ratcheting up the risk even more. Does this mean Hawaii's relatively quiet history with hurricanes won't last? It's a question that divides experts. Notable recent Hawaii storms, lessons from the past decade. To paint a fuller picture, here are just a few storms from recent years that left their mark. Lane, 2018. Once a fierce Category 5, Lane lost strength before landfall, but still brought over 50 inches of rain to parts of the Big Island. This deluge ranked among the heaviest rainfall events from a tropical cyclone in U.S. history. A stark reminder that wind isn't the only danger. Darby, 2016. Another example of a tropical storm that fizzled slightly before landfall, but still packed a punch with flash flooding and heavy rains, causing trouble across the Big Island. Iselle, 2014. Iselle struck eastern Hawaii as a strong tropical storm, dumping more than 10 inches of rain in several locations and causing $150 million in damages. This was the first of 2 direct landfalls on the Big Island in just 2 years, and one of only 7 deadly tropical systems in Hawaii's recorded history. What do you think? Should we rethink Hawaii's hurricane risks? Let's stir the pot. Some argue that Hawaii's unique geography and usual luck with the weather will always shield it from major disasters. Others say it's just a matter of time before conditions line up for a devastating strike. Do you see Hawaii as hurricane-prone, or do you think it's mostly hype? Given climate change and evolving storm patterns, should the islands be doing more to prepare? Tell us what you believe in the comments. Don't hold back. Contributors: Jonathan Bells, digital meteorologist with a love for tropical weather, and Jonathan Erdman, senior meteorologist specializing in extreme and unusual weather events.